Good morning, good afternoon, and of course, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 2021 ASEAN Korea Youth Summit. So the video we just watched together was a very special online challenge named Green Today Challenge, an online campaign to show that ASEAN Korean youth take the lead in participating 2050 carbon neutrality as a part of their daily lives. Summit delegates and ASEAN Korean youth participate in the challenge and also they share their carbon neutrality practice on their social medias. It was very meaningful challenge and we also hope that many people will also join us to solve the climate change problem by practicing carbon neutrality. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin our opening ceremony, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Jessica Lee, and today I'll be your MC for this special occasion. I'm very happy and also I'm very delighted to be a host of this opening ceremony of the 2021 ASEAN Korea Youth Summit. Very nice to meet all of you and welcome. Due to the pandemic situation, today's event is carried out online. It is kind of sad that we cannot meet each other here on site. However, still, I'm very happy to see you virtually online. So thank you for your participation. And for those who are watching us online on YouTube Live, we also have a very special event, which is a streaming capture event. And for more information, please abide by the information on your screen. So today, 100 participants from 10 member nations of the ASEAN and Korea youth joined us online. And during 4 days, they were discussed on future-oriented inclusion and integration for the ASEAN Korea community. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's meet the 2021 ASEAN Korea Youth Summit delegates. So, hello everyone, can you please wave your hand toward the camera? Hello? Thank you very much for your time, and I think this is really great opportunity that we can communicate with each other. Thank you. So we did say hi each other, but in order to know more about our participants and delegates, let's watch the video created by them. So in this video, summit participants introduced themselves and also their nations. And also they explain what AKYS stands for them. And their vision for the future, of course, is included in the video. So ladies and gentlemen, let's gather our attention to the video.
The Soas Bridge, the longest in Southeast Asia, spanning 30 kilometers long, was named after the former Sultan of Brunei.
Costing $1.4 billion, it connects Temurong, Brunei's most remote district, to the capital, Bandar Seri Begawan.
Bandar Kuching is held weekly on every Sunday at the capital. The aim of this program is to achieve the government's initiative of reducing carbon footprint and promoting healthier lifestyle for the residents to enjoy car-free activities such as jogging and cycling.
Crocodile is Cambodia's oldest and endangered martial art. The Khmer army utilized this close combat technique in the 12th century during the Angkor period. Although their shin are taught to use raised weapons and gratify their shin, the uniform is enchanted, though now they're merely ceremonial.
Welcome to Indonesia, country of happiness. Welcome to Indonesia, country of happiness. Take you from Sumatra to Papua. What a city that's not concerned. We are Indonesia, 10 people out of millions. We tell you about that of billion shot of that nation. In which one by your shot of that nation. In which one by
삼계탕, a hot hot soup of chicken and ginseng is a traditional Korean summer food. To restore health, Koreans typically eat samgyetang during the three hottest summer days. Tteokbokki was originally our royal court dish, and nowadays is a gochujang-based spicy street food made of rice cake. There are many variations, including rose tteokbokki, a fusion with cream sauce. Hopefully, someday we'll be able to try this together at a Korean convenience store.
Pakao is Laos' traditional round, compact dining table made from rattan. It needs no chairs and is extremely portable. Now people, especially family members, will gather around the pakao, sitting on the floor and enjoy their meals together. Pakao has been with Lao people way before the invention of the table, and it still remains essential in Laos households. On special occasions, pakao has taken an important role as a pakwan, a key centerpiece of ceremony, used to connect people's spirits. Pakao isn't just a piece of furniture, but a connector of hearts. We spiritually link our souls by sharing meals on the same place on the small rounded table.
Norman Sim here from Malaysia. Malaysia is a country that needs no introduction, with establishments of the Strait of Malacca as the main choking point for merchants, traders, and discoverers in Southeast Asia in the early 15th century. Malaysia to date has transformed to become a regional powerhouse and an international economic and political trendsetter. To this day, Malaysia is a peaceful sovereign country which defends its foundations of diversity cohesively and collectively. These foundations includes ethnicity, politics, socioeconomics, and political components, etc. This has led Malaysia to flourish with infrastructural developments such as the Paranas Twin Towers and strong people-to-people relationship domestically and abroad. Without doubt, Malaysia will constantly seek embracing unification, cooperation for the betterment of the global community. Thank you very much.
The Philippines is uniquely diverse. We have 7,641 islands that are home to 134 ethnic groups with over 170 languages and dialects and the many cultural traditions that encompass them. Combined with our history of colonization, our country is a melting pot of cultures. Our Filipino identity is rich in tradition. For all its beauty, the country faces challenges in ensuring that its development and policies are inclusive of everyone.
Hi everyone, Jewel Changi Airport is a major theme, entertainment and retail complex located right beside the airport and linked to 3 of the terminals. It houses everything from attractions, dining to much needed retail therapy. The main attraction is the rain vortex situated at the heart of Jewel, a 40-meter man-made waterfall that flows from the ceiling all the way to the basement with natural sunlight by day and projected light and sound show by night. Jewel has something for everyone of all ages.
Welcome to Thailand. As you may know, Thailand is the land of smile. So we'd like to welcome you all to our country. We have many cultures, races, nationalities, and religions. So when you come and visit us, you will see many different places, people, and mostly food, depending on the regions.
ภาคอีสาน กลาง ภาคใต้
We are indeed different, but still, we can live with one another. Thank you.
ขอบคุณค่ะบ๊ายบาย
Bye.
Xin chào. The most popular and affordable dish in Vietnam is probably banh mi. It has a crispy thin crust and delicious fillings such as grilled pork, chicken, and lots of vegetables. So if you have a chance to visit our country, don't forget to try the Vietnamese banh mi.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, fellow delegates, and everyone involved. This is Jin-Won from last year's conference. AKY's 2020 meant a lot to me. I was able to engage in meaningful academic discourse and participate in diverse programs that made us acquire a mutual understanding for our culture and diversity. Lessons that I learned from my friends and instructors are still deeply rooted in my heart. I entirely hope that AKY's 2021 can also be a meaningful experience for all of you.
Hello, I was Vietnamese nation leader last year and I've learned a lot from working in a multicultural environment and expand my networking. I also had some successful collaboration with facilitators and delegates. The tasks given to me during the summit helped me practice soft skills. I know you are very talented to be chosen here as a delegate, so I hope that you bring your knowledge, expertise together with international friends to handle emerging issues in our region.
Deciding to participate in the summit this year, I hope to have the opportunity to listen and discuss with delegates from ASEAN Korea and Korea about current pressing issues such as contemporary society, digital inclusion, and gender sensitivity. And I hope to have more experiences of cultural exchange with member countries in region and Korea in the special context of the world today.
I decided to participate in the summit as I believe that the summit will open up opportunities for me to exchange ideas and thoughts, as well as to have open discussion with delegates of the other countries. Secondly, the summit will open up opportunities for me to meet new people of various backgrounds from different countries. From there, I hope to make connections as well as build new friendship. And thirdly, is to come out of my comfort zone for my own personal development.
Hi everyone, I'm Laka from Singapore. I decided to participate in this summit because I wanted to connect with other like-minded youths around the region. This summit is an excellent opportunity for us to reconnect as one ASEAN and find commonalities and strength in collaboration. This youth summit brings together passionate youths to discuss the issues affecting society today and dream about what the future can be for ASEAN.
I participate in this summit because this is such a great opportunity to discuss about the issue that happen in our society and also the world. Throughout the summit, I believe that I will learn something new and be able to express the concern toward the issue. Besides this is such a good time for me to share experience with and learn from our young leaders from different countries and whole different backgrounds.
I decided to join the summit because during this pandemic, the summit is a very big platform, even for the youth, to speak with other countries, seeing different aspects and sharing ideas in many topics that the summit has held. It is also to see that the ASEAN community is still strong and connecting to each other until today. It is also an opportunity for the youth to have space in freedom of speech as in this platform. Thank you very much.
For the world I want to see and create through the summit is the world that everyone is equal. Everybody's voice is heard and be able to take part in society's development. The world without social exclusion. No one should be left out just because of their socio-economic class or which gender they are in.
From the summit, my aspire is I hope that a strong bond
between ASEAN countries and Korea is made in every field. Besides, it will be the best if all the ASEAN countries can support each other in terms of technology sharing so that we can achieve the sustainable development goals in every ASEAN country and not forget Korea. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Inara and I'm from Indonesia. Through this summit, I want to make a world that is edgy, environmental friendly, development friendly, gender friendly, and also youth friendly. Yay!
Through the ASEAN-Korea Youth Summit 2021, I want to have a world that is safe and inclusive for all. The world has different types of inequalities, and we should be able to make programs and policies that can help all types of people, no matter what race, gender, and socioeconomic status they have.
I look forward to the world that can contribute to social, economic, political, and environmental development not only in ASEAN countries but also at the global level. Moreover, I want a future that changes the world starts from the small changes, paying attention to individual efforts rather than just expecting efforts at the organization level. So, do you think you can join our journey? Start from now on!
Well, it is very meaningful video where we could meet all of our participants who were participating in our summit, and also we had a chance to know about their cultures and thoughts and visions. So thank you once again for your meaningful video and your participation once again. With that, in order to celebrate the official start of our summit, we have prepared an online performance. I heard that this performance contains historical fact regarding the relationship between ASEAN and Korea, objectives of the 2021 ASEAN and Korea Youth Summit, and the pre-activities our delegates participated. So from ASEAN-Korea partnership to message that our youth want to convey through the summit. Ladies and gentlemen, let's gather our attention to the screen. Well, thank you for the amazing stage. It was very powerful stage full of messages and meanings. Thank you. In order to begin the 2021 ASEAN-Korea Youth Summit, ladies and gentlemen, from now on, please allow me to introduce Her Excellency Ms. Chung Young-ae, the Minister of the Gender Equality and Family of the Republic of Korea. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Minister Chung Young-ae.
안녕하십니까?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Young Chung, Minister of Gender Equality and Family. The ASEAN-Korea Youth Summit is a youth exchange event in its second year. It builds on the spirit of the 2019 ASEAN ROK's commemorative summit to foster appreciation of the importance of the bilateral cooperation between Korea and ASEAN among their youth. Like last year, the global pandemic has prevented us from enjoying each other's company in person during this year's summit. That, however, should not take away from the significance of the summit as a venue for the youth from various nations to communicate and interact with one another. My special thanks goes to Chung Soo-kim, the First Lady of Korea, for sending us a congratulatory video message. I also would like to thank everyone for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us at this summit. The summit brings together 100 youth from Korea and ASEAN countries to explore ways to promote bilateral cooperation under the theme of inclusions and integration for the ASEAN-Korea community. The topics to be discussed under the discussion theme represent a broad range of compelling global issues such as action plans for carbon neutrality, UNTEC, conflict-free society, tension between the socioeconomic classes, digital divide, global citizenship, education, and gender sensitivity. I look forward to watching you engage in inspiring discussions to develop creative ideas, which will not only reinforce your own global competency but also contribute to tackling our common global challenges. As part of Asia, Korea and ASEAN countries share common values such as communitarianism, but each has its own unique culture. And all of us have a different culture as well. The shared values and differences will set the stage for you to work together over the next 4 days to broaden your mutual understanding and solidarity as a basis for creating a compelling visions for the future. There's a Korean saying that goes, 1,000 ants can move a milestone, which underscore the cooperation as the key to overcoming even the toughest of the challenges. Along these lines, I have no doubt that if everyone here stands shoulder to shoulder, the ASEAN-Korean community will continue to grow to a new height. I urge you to put your heads together, bring diverse perspectives to bear on issues faced not only by the ASEAN and Korea community but also by the wider world. I hope that summit will serve as a springboard for all of you to unite and grow together as a global citizens. The Ministry of Gender Equality and Family will distribute the recommendations you will adopt at the end of the summit to relevant organizations and institutions in ASEAN countries and Korea as a way to following up on the outcomes of the summit. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us, and I wish you the best of health and happiness. Thank you. Thank you.
Excellency welcomed all of our participants, and also she highlighted the importance of the role of ASEAN and Korean youths. So once again, thank you, Minister, for your valuable support. So now I'm delighted to introduce His Excellency Mr. Ng Nguyen Butong, Ambassador of Vietnam to the Republic of Korea. So let's turn our attention to the screen.
Ms. Chung Eun-ae, Minister of Gender Equality and Family. Mr. Moon Young-rin, President of the National Council for Youth Organizations in Korea. Members of 2021 ASEAN-Korea Youth Summit. On behalf of the Vietnam Embassy and the ASEAN ambassadors in Seoul, I would like to congratulate the Ministry of Gender Equality and Family of the Republic of Korea and the National Council of Youth Organizations in Korea for the coordinated efforts to organize the 2021 ASEAN-Korea Youth Summit. I'm aware of the significance of this event that is designed to enhance the people's diplomacy in connecting the ASEAN-Korea youth and thereby promoting Korea's fruitful cooperation with ASEAN, especially when this event is held in the context of Korea's proactive implementation of the New Southern Policy Plus, where the people become an increasingly essential pillar alongside with peace and prosperity. Living in an environment of many challenges. Besides geopolitical challenges, the COVID-19 pandemic is profoundly impacting our daily activities. Natural disasters, floods, and other extreme weather phenomena also occur in many regions due and related to global warming. These challenges are slowing down the progress towards the implementation of 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. But at the same time, these challenges make international cooperation a greater imperative. The COVID-19 pandemic also implies a greater need to share experiences in carrying out the dual task of COVID-19 prevention and economic development, while promoting green and digital strategy for developing our economies. These are the new premises for cooperation between ASEAN and Korea. Therefore, we hope that Korea and ASEAN countries will strengthen the cooperation in the implementation of action plans, including the ASEAN Work Plan on Youth 2021-2025, with a focus on supporting the youth to seize the opportunities, skills, to meet the requirements of the fourth industrial revolution, and at the same time raise awareness of global issues and especially new logics of and approaches to inclusive growth and international integration. The youth's enthusiasm, dynamism, and ability to learn and adapt to new things have always been the important success of many nations in the process of socio-economic development. I then believe that investing in the youth generation and promoting the cohesion of more than 200 million youth in ASEAN countries and in Korea and beyond will be the key in this process. That also brings about peace and prosperity throughout the region. Allow me to wish you a very successful 2021 ASEAN-Korea Youth Summit. Best wishes to you all, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ambassador, for your congratulatory remarks, and also thank you for gracing this year's summit with your messages. With that, it's time for the celebratory ceremony. I believe this session is the highlight of our opening ceremony. So I would like to ask 10 delegates on behalf of all summit participants to take part in the summit celebratory ceremony. So please welcome 10 summit delegates. And dear delegates, do you know the slogan of this year's summit?
Of course.
So they said yes. In order to start the 2021 ASEAN-Korea Youth Summit, I would like to count down from 3. So ladies and gentlemen, once I count down from 3, please say our slogan all together and also touch the start button that appears on your screen. So if you're ready, let's count down. 3, 2, 1.
Congratulations.
Our delegates brought the start of the summit this year. And dear participants, congratulations on a successful start of the 2021 ASEAN-Korea Youth Summit. So now we only have 2 sessions left for today's event. First of all, we have a group photo session, and after that, we will have some keynote speeches from our presenters. First of all, now we would like to move on to a commemorative photo session altogether, and we will have a photo with all of our participants online and offline. So we would like to take a photo 3 times. I'd like to ask for your participation. So dear online participants, please look at your webcam and make a big smile towards your camera. So you have to maintain your smile for 3 seconds. So we are capturing your photos. Yes, thank you. And now we would like to have another photo. Please raise your hand as you give me a 5. Yes, like that, please. Give me a 5. Yes, please be with us. And please remain with those poses. We have to take photo with all of you. Thank you. And actually, we have one more photo shooting to commemorate this meaningful occasion. So now, why don't we make a finger heart with our thumb and index finger? Yes, small one, not big one. So let's look at the camera. You have to smile again. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much. Thank you for your participation and cooperation. Yes, like this, we did take our photo to commemorate this meaningful occasion. And ladies and gentlemen, for the last session of today's event, we like to go right into the keynote session. So actually, we have 2 keynote speakers today. So first speaker is Miss Eleanor Rosa Pinugu, Executive Director of Mano Amiga Philippines. So she has received several awards for social entrepreneurship and education. And today she'll be delivering her keynote speech under the theme of Strength of Interconnectedness, Social Change in Modern Times. So ladies and gentlemen, we are looking forward to hearing from her. So let's gather our attention to the screen.
Ang trabaho po ng nanay ko ay operator sa isang factory. Tatay ko naman po ay sa construction. Ako po yung panganay. Sa paggawa ng book ng 5 senses, ako yung naging leader. Hindi lang yung 5 senses natutunan ko rin po pala na pwede ako maging leader. Dapat tayo sa leader ay mahaba, pasensya, hindi pikon. Mabait.
Project-based learning is when students work on a certain problem. They need to solve it.
It really helped them to make their own decisions based on what they've learned and what they've researched.
They have the sense of accomplishment.
Kailangan ko talaga siyang tutukan kasi if not, hindi niya matututunan yung topic.
We have the notion before of education that one size fits all, but now it's very different. Really need to consider the needs and the interests of the students. From there, they would feel the sense of ownership. They're part of the learning experience. When their heart is there, they would really give their all.
Nararamdaman ko na love kami ng mga teachers namin dahil hindi po sila mabilis magalit. Lumalabas ang kakayahan ko dahil sa mababait na teacher.
Hi everyone, my name is Lynn Pinugu and it's an honor for me to be able to join you today. I am joining you virtually all the way from the Philippines where we have been constantly on lockdown for the past 16 months. So as you can tell, it's been a tough 1.5 years for us. But as they say, with a lot of challenges also come a lot of opportunities for learning and growth. And today I want to share with you my personal reflections on how the new normal has shaped the way we are able to make a difference or create change in other people's lives. Now, to give you a bit more background of what I do, I am the co-founder of a social enterprise called Mano Amiga. It means helping hand. And we provide high-quality education and sustainable livelihood to children and families so that they could break out of poverty. In Mano Amiga, we believe that where you start in life shouldn't limit where you end up in. And it's only a matter of giving each person access to training, education, opportunities that they need so that they could transform their life. However, we also believe that we need to form communities to take care of one another. So, for example, in Mano Amiga, tuition fees are not fixed, but rather based on a parent's capacity to pay. So we believe that if you come from a higher income family, you should pay a bit more so that you can help subsidize the tuition fee of students coming from a lower income family. And this idea, this need to be able to take care of each other is a lesson that I believe is something that was made very evident during the pandemic. We've always been used to a globalized world where, our actions are interconnected. But I think last year, the pandemic made us very present to just how interconnected our vulnerabilities are. And with this interlinked vulnerability is also the urgency to act to take care of the more vulnerable members of society. And this is actually something that a lot of people are starting to realize. The World Economic Forum commissioned a study last year, and they found that 86% of adults that they surveyed in 28 nations wanted a world that is more equal, and they want the government to put more effort in addressing issues like hunger, poverty, and public health. Now, apart from the realization of our interlinked vulnerability or our interconnected vulnerability, we also saw last year as the year of how technology could really create, amplify, and replicate the most innovative solutions. Just looking at the different public health related interventions, we saw the importance of technology. First and foremost, of course, in the race towards developing a viable vaccine, we also saw how important technology is in terms of doing efficient contact tracing, efficient testing, and even, delivering clinical care virtually via teleconsulting. But to me, what was most amazing to witness was how the power of technology has given every individual a choice and the power to be part of the solution. I want us to do a bit of trip down memory lane and remember how in March 2020 the World Health Organization gave this call. They were asking governments and industries to keep producing more PPEs because there was a shortage of PPEs, which are protective gear for medical frontliners, and to the point that some medical frontliners are wearing trash bags, right, just to protect them. And this was a cause of concern because without PPEs, you won't be able to effectively protect medical frontliners from the dangers of the virus, and they might get infected, and it could lead to death. So apart from the government responding by funding more production, you also have a lot of individuals who stepped up. And these are everyday people who said, I want to help. I want to be part of the solution. So you have people who, you have fashion designers who suddenly shifted into creating PPEs. But you also have people who were just organizing logistics, who volunteered to pick up and deliver excess PPEs from one town and deliver to another. And you also have people who said, I'm going to put up on YouTube ways on how to make the PPE, the different patterns, so that any individual who wants to make one could do so from the comfort or the safety of their own homes. And to me, was really the biggest source of hope last year, that in an interconnected world, small acts of change could actually lead to ripples of transformation all over the world. Now, let me share with you my own experience with Mano Amiga. So obviously the pandemic is something that really affected us because schools are one of the things that were badly hit last year. Because of the lockdown, face-to-face operations in schools had to cease. And in a country like the Philippines, where many of Filipinos don't really have access to internet connection, a lot of private schools actually had to close down because they don't have the resources to provide internet or gadgets, not just to the students, but to their teachers as well. And public schools had to resort to modular learning, even if that really compromises the quality of education for their students, because again, that was the only option given the lack of resources for internet connection. In Mano Amiga, how did we cope? We had two choices. It's either we closed down the school temporarily because again, our children and students come from lower income families as well, so they also don't have access to connection, and we didn't know how we're going to be able to address that. Or we tried to plan for how we can deliver online, and we combine all our minds and try to come up with a creative solution. What was really helpful for us last year was that we joined the UNESCO Global Coalition for Education, where we had access to different best practices all over the world. And because they were publishing, different studies in terms of what other countries are doing, that gave us guidance in terms of how we want to move forward. But more importantly, it also gave us the courage. It emboldened us to try new and creative solutions so that we can continue delivering quality education online to our students. So after joining the coalition and after learning from other people, we actually went back to the drawing board and we interviewed our different beneficiaries, and we asked them, okay, what's the best way to support you? And from there, we realized that if we could only give them access to a monthly internet connection allowance, then they would be able to join our online classes, and we could continue operating virtually. So that's what we did. We launched the Connect the Gap campaign initiative. And, we encouraged individuals by sharing stories of our families and their own challenges. And we encouraged people to, donate their secondhand gadgets. And, a small amount, 7,000 pesos is about $120. And that's enough for 1 year's worth of connection for every child. And to date, we have raised over $500,000 just from pledges of individuals alone. And again, being open to what other educators are doing has really allowed us to develop and tailor our own way or our own brand of online education. So our teachers, they would observe, they would learn from other teachers in terms of how to deliver a subject in a fun and more dynamic way. And that's something that we also applied in our own classes and programs. We would also create, interesting after-school programs because, again, we wanted to create opportunities for meaningful learning for Filipino students. And through these clubs, not only are the kids having fun while they're learning, they also had the chance to meet other kids like them who are also on lockdown. So it allowed them to socialize and to connect, which was so important last year. And I guess our experience, what we want to highlight is really how, we have to maximize this globalized world in terms of what it could offer us. Because yes, our actions are interconnected. Yes, our vulnerabilities are interconnected. But you also have this unique opportunity to make the entire world our classroom. We could learn from each other's success. We could learn from each other's experiences. We could learn from each other's mistakes. And to us, that's the key for creating effective social change moving forward. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. There's no need for us to operate in silos. And you are part of an event like this because you are being given an opportunity to learn from each other. The question is, how are you going to maximize these global practices and use it and apply it and tailor it to the own needs of your own communities and the different problems that you are solving. I do want to end with a short story. So this is Zycarine. She is one of our Mano Amiga scholars. And last year when the pandemic happened, she realized that the pedicab drivers, so pedicabs are like tricycles or like similar to the tuk-tuks in Bangkok. She realized that, the pedicab drivers lost their jobs and lost their source of income. Zycarine, she comes from a low-income family as well, so she doesn't have a lot of money, but she is quite talented. She and her classmates decided that they were gonna do these watercolor paintings and they were gonna sell them for $1 each. And they're gonna try to raise funds to buy groceries for these pedicab drivers. After a week, they were able to sell all their paintings. They were able to raise, I think, close to $200. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a lot, for a 16-year-old just doing something from their own home. And they were able to buy a week's worth of groceries for their pedicab drivers, who are their neighbors. And to me, this is such a perfect example again of the beauty of the work that we do. Every time I talk to young people, those who are younger than I am, I always remind them never to lose your sense of hope and wonder. Because this work could be emotionally tiring, right? We give so much of ourselves, and more often than not, we don't always see the fruits of our actions. But I hope that Zycarine's story reminds you that because there are people like us who are, trying to create change, who are coming up with different projects, we're also serving as an inspiration for younger leaders to step up and to be part of the solution. This is a reminder that we are not alone and that we have each other, that even though we won't always learn of each other's impact, or we won't always hear about each other's work, that we are part of this global community who are making small steps towards the kind of world we want to live in. And I guess I do want to end with that being part of this conference is such a valuable opportunity because you get to be with like-minded people. You get to learn from their perspective, you get to learn from their experiences, but more importantly, this is an opportunity to connect with people who could be your long-term partners in terms of creating the world that we want to see. So I do want to thank you for everything that you do, and thank you for the opportunity to be your co-creator towards the future that we want to have.
Thank you so much, Ms. Pinugu. And she said that small acts of change can lead to a big transformation during her presentation. So we do hope that this summit plays an important role as a small but also crucial movement for all of our participants. Thank you very much. And now let's go to the next keynote speech. I would like to introduce our keynote second speaker, Mr. An Young-il, Managing Director of Tipstown. So he was selected by 동아일보 as one of 100 talents who will enlighten Korean in the next decades. So today he will be delivering his keynote speech under the theme of "If nothing changes, nothing changes." So this is the last presentation of today's summit. So ladies and gentlemen, please gather your attention to the screen.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for coming up here today. Thank you, Brunei. Thank you, Cambodia. Love you, Indonesia. Thank you, Laos. Thank you, Malaysia. Thank you, Myanmar. And thank you, Philippines. Thank you, Singapore. Thank you, Thailand. And thank you, Vietnam. And thank you, Korea, for hosting this amazing event. A couple of days ago, I had dinner with my friend who is born in 1995 and raised in Korea. He asked, "Hey, bro, I want to succeed. I want to make a fortune, but I don't want to work hard." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, What? And I was like, What? And the whole conversation was like, What? And you know what? What he told me was like, I want to be a man like Elon Musk, and I don't want to work hard as he does. And I want to be like Dostoevsky, and I don't want to write. And I want to have some yummy foods, and I don't want to grab and put the spoon into my mouth. It sounded like, you want to enjoy some foods automatically put into your mouth, and then maybe you want to do the other end of the work done automatically too. Is it artificially, intelligently, stomachically, digestably? Is that something like that? And you know what? I couldn't get a sleep that night because I was so fascinated by his idea of success. As a father of 2 children, I always work so hard to make ends meet. Get up at 5 a.m., get on the commuter bus right away, get to the office, set up the office table, go to gym to work out. Honestly, not to die early. Shower, and office again. Check out the email box, prioritize the list of works, arrange meetings, prepare for reports, and go get things done. And get to the commuter bus again, home again, babysitting, sleeping, and repeat the routine 5 rounds a week. Waiting for Saturday, wishing the Monday would never come again. And yet, here again, my friend has this great question to success. Not working hard. Not necessary to get on the commuter bus. Yeah. How can I do that? Eat delicious foods automatically, not using my hands like that thing? All of a sudden that night, something became so clear to me that the question of my young friend, "Hey bro, I want to succeed, I want to make a fortune, but I don't want to work hard," was not a totally misled mantra. It actually is somewhat relevant to the key secret to success. When I was young, I was kind of a boy, somewhat alone. I wanted to do almost everything alone. I studied alone, walked alone, talked alone, played soccer alone. What? Yeah, played soccer alone, bouncing the ball against the walls. Yay, goal! Yay, header! All by myself. And everyone became mad at me because I was so noisy. And it didn't matter because I could hide myself again and keep studying. And I thought it wasn't that wrong to live like that and climb up the social ladder to the success. I can study hard alone, and the flying color of scores and the grade will be mine, not someone else's, and I will get an admission to one of those most highly prestigious schools in South Korea, and there study alone again and go on become an honored employee of conglomerates like Samsung, Hyundai, LG, or so, and become a government officer. Seriously. I thought there was nothing wrong with my plan. But one day, something happened to me. In 1999, I was 17 years old. I became a head of the class. I was elected. So I had to make like a presidential election pledge, a very public promise to my classmates. A promise was to arrange a blind date meeting with women's high school. Classmates loved it. I was happy except the fact that I had no idea to how I could arrange that. I have been a man of loneliness, lonely lion, and I had no girl to talk to, but I decided to keep the promise almost every day. So I went to the other school with ideas of starting conversation about this massive blind dating thing. But I failed day after day, and the week after week, month after month. Just visited there, and I couldn't start a talk. I was not able to initiate the conversation with people, actually. Yeah, back in my ages of 17. And one day, one of my classmates came to me and asked, "Hey, I heard something about you. I thought you've been missing during dinner because you were skipping dinner and studied alone again. You idiot. But I found that you've been out to go there." And I asked where. And he said, "There, women's high school. Why did you do that? Everyone is raving about you, you know? A lonely, miserable student every day rambling in front of the entrance." And I said, "I did that to keep the promise that I made when I was elected. I did that to keep the promise to arrange a massive blind date meeting." And the classmates who were listening to our conversation was like, What? Why didn't you tell us? Kind of exciting. Oh, you know, what I know. I know a girl who you can talk to, and you need an introduction. Why not? So I met a girl and finally said from the deepest hurt, "Shall we arrange a blind dating meeting between my class and yours?" And she said yes. Wow, success. Let's talk about this success. We need to re-engineer how I could do that. And there, actually, I met my first love, and my grade started free falling, but still I was happy. Happiness was not coming from the grades, but was coming from no other than the relationships with my friends and the love. Then how was it possible that I could transform myself from lonely alone man to this successful community guy? The secret? I think it was that I made a bold promise and then stick to it tenaciously and kept it. And people around me felt some kind of attractiveness to me. It worked as if it were gravity. I have gravity, a mass, so people just approached me, and I became bigger and larger over and over, and that made difference. To make a promise is a very human thing, Homo sapiens thing. We are the only species who can think short-term, middle-term, and long-term. When we think now, it's an idea, and when we think about what to do by tomorrow, it's a promise. And when we think about what we want to do by next year, we call it a goal, purpose. And when we think about it by 10 years of time frame, we call it a dream. When we extend the thoughts to 100 years, we call it a vision or mission to achieve in my 100 years of plan. So the fact that we are the ones who think is a proof that we are able to make promises, goals, dreams, ambitions, and visions. The only thing that matters most is now, are you thinking something meaningful, surprising things, or shocking things or touching things. This is so powerful because game-changing visions and promises and everyday life of grit and hustle works like gravity, a gravity that connects people. When we are connected, we can achieve beyond one's own capability, beyond the imagination. So I decided to repeat the process. Okay, let's make a promise. Bold promises, meaningful, touching, something great. And let's try to stick to it, tenacious, keep it, and then look what would happen later on to be authentically successful and live happy. In 2005, I was also one of those student delegates joining ASEAN-Korean Youth Summit. We sang together, danced together, and to my friends, I made a lot of promises like let's meet again, and with my friends, we set goals and dreams that we can pursue together in the long term. It's upon our imagination, and we all were on the same passion. One day, we all wanted to do something meaningful, surprising, touching things together. So I visited them a couple of times in ASEAN, met friends, had dinners, danced and sang together. We have long been connected. For 16 years have passed since the summit. Now, and you know what? With those friends who were there, now we are talking and thinking about how we can cooperate better in the face of these great challenges of global society. Me, myself, as a professional startup advisor, I know well about innovations happening in Korea and share insights on how we could duplicate the innovative processes to Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. And like me, as a grown-up professional in my own arena, and my friends too in their own arena, the quality of conversation and the degree of capability to resolve problems is now unparalleled. We are stronger, and we are getting stronger every day because we have long been connected together, and we were friends in 2005, and now we are partners sharing same dream. Why do you think BTS, 방탄소년단, is BTS? What makes them different? Among many other things, we should put ARMY first. Adorable representative MC for youth, a fan club of BTS. BTS started with a lot of constraints because back then, big hit entertainment was so small compared to SM, YG, or JYP. In general, to make a debut as K-pop star, first, the entertainment company auditions or scouts idols, trains them to sing, dance, and act, and carefully assembles them into incredibly polished and well-rounded groups. The thing is, this process can take years, so much money on the table invested. Because of that, every K-pop idol has to be squeaky clean. Idols must be kind and polite and never be involved with alcohol, drugs, or scandals, so on. So normally, their social channel like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube is under thorough control by their management agency. But BTS was different. It was like, hey guys, come on over here. We're not able to afford some luxurious things like the other guys, but our creativity is unlimited. Let's try to find out what we can do differently. What they did was to start sharing their everyday lives through social channels before their debut. As I told you, this has been regarded as so risky, so couldn't be part of the process before its debut. Whatever the result, you know well about BTS. BTS made a debut on June 13th, 2013, and their fan club, ARMY, was established on July 9th, 2013, just like 20 days later after their debut. But it wasn't like any other fan club. from the very start. It was like deeply emotionally tied brothers and sisters and family, because they were already sharing a lot of stories. They already had shared memories of laugh, tears, excitement, and anticipation. They have long been connected. There is an African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. The world we are living in is profoundly unequal and unsustainable. What do we need to do to tackle the challenges ahead of us? We all know climate challenge, melting icebergs, heavy rainfalls, floods, drought, forest fires. It's so clear. But why is it so hard to resolve? Because there are multiple colliding interests. Some say, oh, wait a minute. We need more fossil fuel burnings. You did it for so long, why not us? And some say, oh, let's go for environmentally friendly solutions. Sustainability matters, yeah. And some say, you're gonna make another energy product to subjugate us economically? What? We have so many juggling and colliding questions. So can we finally settle down to a mutual understanding? How can we do that? What about pandemic? Post-pandemic world is expected to be much more unequal than before. Some children have totally been detached from education. So many parents have lost their jobs, not been able to pay bills, and while amid all the misery and mortality, the number of millionaires rose last year by 5.2 million to over 56 million. How could we say a more equal and sustainable society after the pandemic? But despite the fact that there has been so much injuries throughout the world during COVID-19, we also can find hope. There has been radical researches and cooperation by an international team of scientists. The development of vaccines was done not in one country, but through the cooperation of many countries. We should call this an amazing success of scientific cooperation, connected. How was it possible? Because we've been connected together more than any time in human history. We are becoming extremely technologically sophisticated, and we've shared the same mission to defeat the virus. A pandemic is a form of natural disaster, but look at us. We are marching forward regardless of those adversities and making something greater, making something meaningful. So back to the original question. Hey bro, I want to succeed. I want to make a fortune, but I don't want to work hard. Now the answer is, it's okay not to work hard. But I wish you could make meaningful promises and keep it over and over. That'll make you attractive. When you become attractive, people will hope to get connected with you. And I wish you could set audacious goals and keep it over and over again. That'll give you your fan, audience, quality relationships in the long term. And I wish you could bear a daredevil mission and vision in mind and try to keep it for a long period of time. Then people who have been deeply connected to you on your life journey will get you there, to the mission. Being connected matters a lot. Can you make a promise to be connected by keeping promises? Setting and achieving goals, presenting visions, and be tenacious. If we start to change, everything will be changed. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. ASEAN-Korean Youth Summit and my friends from all over the world, I hope our shared hope will change the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much for insightful keynote speech. So, ladies and gentlemen, do not work too hard, but do something meaningful on a daily basis. So, I believe his word motivated you to change the world. Thank you very much for your meaningful presentation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of the opening ceremony and also keynote session of the 2021 ASEAN-Korea Youth Summit. So from now on, participants will be moved to the conference room of each nation and have a discussion with online and offline participants. Moreover, during 4 summit days, our delegates will participate in events such as online Olympic quiz show and other different programs. Delegates will discuss on 5 different topics, and the final result of the summit will be presented as a recommendation proposal on the closing ceremony, which will be held online at 2:30 on August 13th. The closing ceremony will be broadcast live on the Ministry of Gender Equality and Families YouTube channel as well. So we would like to ask for your active participation and your presence until the very end of our summit. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for your time today. This has been Jessica Lee. Goodbye and see you on Friday again. Bye.